Hello. Hey, I got the bright on, I guess. Hey, it's me with my buzz cut. I hope you noticed that. And also my Washington Wizards jacket. Heck yeah, let's do it. All right. First of all, ever since I was inspired by Kellogg's, admittedly, Kellogg's has a thing where you can actually donate a free book to a library of your choice if you buy cereal. And I did that one year. I bought like 3 boxes of cereal. I bought like 3 boxes of cereal, and I donated 3 books to my local libraries in Kent. And I'm like, well, I don't have to buy cereal to do that. I can go to a bookstore. Well, the thing is, libraries will not accept a book if you just hand it to them. They will not accept it because it's a physical object. It can have germs and stuff. But if you ship it to them from a third party, aka a bookstore, if you ship it to them from a bookstore, they will accept it. Probably. Probably. Okay. So I've started donating books to libraries from a bookstore, and I pay. The thing is, I pay a discount price because I get them from TJ Maxx, or I get them from this new place I found called Book Outlet. Book Outlet. Okay. I tried Book Depot, and they require you to be a member of an organization, and I'm not a member of an organization. As you well know, I am independent. I am not a member of an organization. I'm independent. I'm just me here. So, but Book Outlet does not require you to be a part of an organization, and their shipping is $6.95. If you have an order less than $25, their shipping is $6.95, and that's very similar to Amazon. And so and they discount their books. And so if you find a book you want on Book Outlet, it's an interesting alternative to Amazon. You can get that order up to $25 and get a really good discount on your books. And so I donated a children's book to Spokane Library. Some of you may remember that Spokane Library I did a video on. I sent a free book to them to donate book to them during COVID. And what I found out was, and I sent that from TJ Maxx, and what TJ Maxx found out was Seattle Public Library was refusing all shipments during COVID, and they were not providing anywhere where you could store them until Seattle Public Library reopened after COVID. So Seattle Public Library returned to sender everything they received during their COVID closure. And I'm sure they're still dealing with that. Don't ask for anything that happened during 2021. 2021 was a year that did not exist for Spokane Public Library. I'm just razzing you, Spokane Public Library. I love you. I know you have a new building. I used to go to your old building to check out James Bond books because James Bond books are something you have to check out at the library because they don't make new ones. Ian Fleming doesn't write new ones. He's gone. Ian Fleming doesn't write new ones. He only has them at the library. Okay, because they signed the movies up and it's all a big deal. So, bookoutlet.com is a good place. I think it's .com, whatever. Book Outlet in your search engine. $6.95 shipping. And so I sent a children's book to Spokane Public Library. And it says, Spokane Public Library book donation from Larry Hussey is what it says. Okay. And now the next thing is I get free emails from Seattle Times because I would never pay them money because they haven't reported on my gang stalking issue in Seattle. They've never reported on my gang stalking issue. And so they're basically turning their head. The mafia says turn your head, and Seattle Times goes, what? So the Seattle Times does whatever the mafia wants them to do. The mafia wants them to belch, they'll belch, whatever. But anyway, I get free emails from Seattle Times. And this said public safety at an inflection point. Council member calls on mayor for action after Seattle Center shooting. Bob Kettle, who I guess is the council member, Says public safety is quote unquote at an inflection point and urged a full and complete investigation into Mayor Katie Wilson's administration's response to the fatal shooting at Bite of Seattle. Okay, number one, going to a Bite of festival in your hometown should not be a scary thing. And that is, oh my God, you should not be afraid to go to a Bite of festival in your community, be afraid that there's going to be a shooting. You really shouldn't. Oh, wow. If there's anything you should be safe going to, it's a Bite of festival in your hometown. Wow. And then there's a shooting. Wow. Okay. But I already knew that. But now there's a council member, Bob Kettle, who's saying Seattle safety might be in danger. It might be an inflection point where we're actually in danger. Well, the inflection point, in my opinion, happened 8 years ago when my home was lynch mobbed, and then the Seattle police showed up, and there was a lynch mob literally standing in front of my home, and they looked away and they said, "Oh well," and they didn't even question the lynch mob standing in front of my house in the street. They were literally standing there in the street pretending to be spectators, and the police believed they were spectators, I guess, and then drove off. They didn't even question the people standing in front of the house that are most likely to be the perpetrators. That 8 years ago, January 2018, that is when I say the inflection point for safety of Seattle went toward danger. And the Seattle Police Union backs me up. Seattle Police Union has been telling people that Seattle is much riskier and much less safe than you think, because the news keeps reporting Seattle Police Union is saying safety in Seattle is not very good. And then the people of Seattle are like, of course it's good. Of course. You police don't know what's going on with safety. you The Seattle Police Union doesn't know what's going on with safety. Of course we're safe. We're safe. And then the actual police are saying, no, it's pretty freaking dangerous in Seattle. Okay, and I support that. I support that part of the Seattle Police Union. I don't support any part of the Seattle Police Union that says that Seattle police are able to say, "Oh, we're not going to question the lynch mob standing right in front of us, in front of the house that they lynch mobbed, and we're not even going to question them. We're not even going to arrest them. We're not going to question them. We're not going to do anything, and we're going to call off the backup that my partner called in. We're going to call them off and tell them to hit the brakes and leave." And that's what happened. And so thank you, Bob Kettle, for saying that safety in Seattle is at an inflection point. I believe that inflection point happened 8 years ago. You believe the inflection point happened during Bite of Seattle shooting. But the important thing is that until now, the discussion in the news has been, is Seattle police too brutal and too brutal to their citizens? And now the discussion finally is at a quote inflection point per Bob Kettle. Bob Kettle says inflection point, and it says Bob Kettle, the city council member, says we're at an inflection point where Seattle is dangerous. Seattle's dangerous. Thank you, Bob Kettle. Because it is. Seattle's very dangerous. And that's why I live in Bothell in another county, and I skip the county and the city. Okay, that's been 9 minutes. You have 1 minute left in your 10-minute break. Have a good day. Thank you.